Hello everyone, hope you all are doing well. So today we have a great session and we can call it test series on open source. So, where we'll be covering all the things. So I would say like we can just wait for 2 to 3 minutes and then we can start. Till then you can call your friends and just open. So like if I would suggest there is nothing like any prerequisite for the session. If you are extremely beginner, no problem, you can just join in. Okay, so I would say like we can start the session now. Let me present my screen and tell you about myself and yes. Okay, so great. We are ready to start with that session. Session is more about starting with open source. We will be more going through the boom which is going on, that open source, what is GitHub, Hacktoberfest. Basically, this series will be for 3 days, today, tomorrow, and day after tomorrow. It will be near about 1 hour. And I will make sure if you attend this series, you will be able to learn more on the open source and you can start your journey with the open source and with any of the program. So I will be trying my best to provide you this series as in best series to cover whole open source program. Right. So before that, who I am, like I am a software engineer at CrossSet. CrossSet is a company from Korea and I'm working remotely from India. Mostly working with the machine learning and app development Flutter, in the Flutter. And I'm a Microsoft Azure Developer Community Organizer, particularly this, and I'm an organizer for Jaipur community. With that, I love to organize different sessions, even in offline and online, because like most of the public IREs, they told like you can please cover to go online too, because like who are living far from Jaipur, how they can do. So I try to do both of the session in online and offline mode. In offline mode, recently I have organized 2 to 3 sessions and as an invited as a speaker. And I'm too an MLSA and a tech evangelist, and I recently passed out from my college and love to share my knowledge and views with you. So if you want to connect with me, my name is Vilsi Jain, and you can connect with me on LinkedIn, Twitter, GitHub, wherever you want. Yes. So with that, I have a good experience as a speaker in the community. Have been a speaker in AWS, Microsoft Reactor, Let's Grow More, been a judge of many hackathons, love to participate in hackathons and win many of big hackathons. With that, I love to contribute in open source. Even I love to organize the programs. Recently organized Let's Grow More Summer of Code with 4,000 plus participants. And in experience of the field in open source, I have been maintained in different programs, being a project admin where my one of the project is used to be there, and students were doing committing with it. Yes, all about me, and you can just check my LinkedIn and all. So yes, firstly, let's clear the myth. What is open source and what's everything? Before that, I would say like we can read a code, which is in a real open source. You have the right to control your own destiny. What does it means? Is like I will be explaining you more towards it, but this code is from Linux Torvald. I think most of you know about Linux Torvald. Linux Torvald, found, and if you don't know, do search about him because he is an amazing person. So yes, let's break down this thought and understand. So in open source, you have a right to control your own destiny, right? So because in open source, it's nothing mandatory or something like you need to be a engineer, you need to be a doctor, anything. If you are a student, you can just do it. If you are a professional, if you are just of 10 years, you are of 50 years, there is nothing like that. It's totally free. No one is there to select you, right? Because like mostly it happen like if you do an internship, there is like a many test goes on and you need to clear that, right? But in the open source, this is something very good. Like you not need anything. You just, if you have a right knowledge, if you have a right guidance, right path, and know how to do that, you are the best one. Just have that command on the technology. Even not a technology, you can be good in a documentation. You can do no code and many a things. So let us jump to it and understand more what we are talking about. So let's, these are some most important questions which most of the student get. Let's clear that questions. What is open source? Why open source? Like I think most of you have that doubt right? So how to start with the open source? Because if you are even a beginner, even you are from first year, I would like really say you it will be a best series to complete it and to understand what we are really doing and what we need to do in the open source. Because like open source is something which is really important and you should know about it, because like something it's booming and doing with the passion. So like what is open source first of all? So you have seen VLC player, you have seen Microsoft Azure, right? These are something open source projects, or you can, let me tell you in a basic way. I will be telling you from the scratch, not in a technical definition. So what happen if you have any site, if a company is hosting let's take an example of Microsoft, right? So if they have make their website or any portal, just for understanding they are doing. So if you are a user of that, if you are a user of VLC player and you are thinking like, if the site have this feature, a particular feature, it would be good. If there is a bug, you are thinking like this bug is really important to remove it. So what you will be thinking, should you ping to the software engineer, or like you should mail the Microsoft team, or they will be doing that. This can be one idea, correct? You can report a bug. If you want a feature, you can just give them an idea. But I would say, like, why to give them idea? Is it important that only a software engineer can only change the code of any particular site? So firstly the answer is no. If the project, if the company company is working with the open source, like, let me explain you. Because there is not all the companies have the software which is an open source software. Most of the companies try to do that, but it's totally depend on the company to company, right? Because like even in the Microsoft, like not all the projects are open source. Like Microsoft Azure is open source. So this is something, let me explain. So if you are a person who is sitting here and you know about the particular bug, you think that I can also do this, even I can also improve this. But it's not important you need to be a software engineer, you need to apply as a software engineer. What you can do, like if a company tool is open source, you can just check out their GitHub. You can just write Microsoft Azure GitHub, or anything you can write. Even on their site, they may have a column there, you can click on the button. So you just need to open that GitHub, you need to understand that code, and according to that, firstly you need to report them. Let me explain you more clearly. So let's take any open source project. Okay, so we have that Microsoft Azure GitHub. Now you can see how easily we have get. Take any one of that which you like, go to it. Now you think there is a particular bug or there is something, so just click on that issue, create your new issue, right? There is many options. So according to your, click on get started. Let's take this one. Okay, so now you can write what feature you want, or if you have any bug, you can select according to that. You can write, give the description, and give propose implementation detail, right? Now if you particularly you want to do that, you can even write there that I can also work on that. You can frame it really good, and you just need to submit the new issue, and if they assign it to you, you can start working on that. Now after working, you can just give them, and if they like your code, if they like your implementation, they will be just adding in their repo, and that repo will be directly public to the main Microsoft Azure portal. So this is something, a power of open source, you can say. Like in a just sitting from anywhere, suggesting to any company, working for any company, it's not important to be something, a role, a particular working on a role. You can do that, right? Even you are a student, even you are a professional, nothing matters there. So this is open source. So let's go toward the technical definition, if I would say. So open source is a open platform, you can say, a open tool which is accessible to all, which where you can provide any idea, you can suggest your idea, you can work on that idea. It's free, totally it's free. Anyone can use it, and anyone can do that. So, yes, how to start with open source contribution? What's the need of open source? So, I would say, like, what's the need of open source? Why company are doing their project openly? Why they are sharing the code so other can suggest them? So, this is something like what company also want, like because they want a user and their particular portal a good interaction between both of them, right? Because everyone want the customer feasibility, customer satisfaction, right? So what they do is like they also contribute. They say like it's open to you. Even you can also contribute. You can tell your thoughts. We can do accordingly. You can check it out. So even the company have the benefit because they need to pay to you, and you are providing them a service, right? Because it's both side benefit, right? And the company also getting the suggestions, and company are getting the particular customer reviews, customer satisfaction, because whatever you will be telling, the company will be identifying that yes, if you have suggested any feature, yes, this will make their benefit or not. If that is making their benefit, or any particular bug you are removing that is making their benefit, that's good for the company, correct? Because like sitting with the 100 engineers, not any, take any of the company, because Microsoft is the company which is really very big, because like there is many small companies or many small projects which are going on. So they do not have that big work force who all engineers are doing there. So they also need something like a particular person can help them finding the project. So how you can find the project? So recently I have just typed Microsoft Azure GitHub or VLC GitHub. So this is something easy, but it may happen like I don't know the technology which the company is doing. So how I can find that technology? You may have a doubt. Finding open source competition. Okay, so have you listened about GSSOC, Google Summer of Code, MLH, Outreachy, or Hacktoberfest? Currently, what is Hacktoberfest? Let me explain you one line. And on the third day, I will be taking a brief session on the Hacktoberfest, which is on 14. Yes, so Hacktoberfest is something Hacktoberfest. So Hacktober means October, fest means a hacking, a month where you can hack, where you can contribute to a open source, which is celebrated as a fest for a person, for a open source. It's a whole month fest, which is like people still love that. Even like more than 40-50,000 is just a normal. Even a lakh of people contribute in a 1 month, and that's really a biggest fest in the open source, I would say, where a lot of people contribute there, right? So even you can check it on the Saturday, like on the Friday, I think. Finding the project, let me explain you more something. First, I will be telling you everything, like how we can find the project, how you can contribute to the project, how you can enroll in that program, how you can get the best opportunity with the help of open source, and why open source. Correct? Like I have tell you the perspective from the company, like how company gets the benefit from the open source. But why, how you are getting the benefit from the open source, which I will be telling you more deeply. Just let's go. Why open source? So some of the reasons are like most are something, if you contribute to a bigger company or even the smaller company, and thousand or lakh of people are using that your code, your feature, how lucky you will be feeling on that day, right? How good you will be feeling on that day. Like even you are working on a particular company and contributing in the particular company, which is your dream company, you can say. While if you are not selected for a particular thing, then also you are contributing. This is the feeling which feels us very good, correct? So people from all over the world can contribute to your code. So if you also make any open source project, just a minute. Okay. So people from whole over the world can contribute to your project, like any of the project you have. Anyone can contribute in. A very good code quality is maintained, right? Because like even anyone can suggest you, and like a very good person also suggest you. It's not important if anyone have written a code for you. It's important for the company to merge that, because like company will be also checking if it is really helping, then only they will. Okay, sorry, my voice was lost. Okay. So this is like two-way benefits. A very good code quality is maintained. That's correct. Showcase your talent. Even you are a student, it's not important to contribute from a particular. Every student do not get an internship. Correct. Even like if you are in second year, first year, it's not important that every company give you an internship. Correct. Even in the fourth year, it happens like you don't get opportunity from a good company if you are even in you are in a good college. And if you say like in my college, if it is tier 3, you can say any of the college. If you say in my college the company do not come, so what I can do, this is something which I have listened from many of the students. So what you can do, let me tell you some tricks like why open source is important, what I have seen particularly. What happens in the open source, what happens like if you contribute to a particular company, let's take an example of PLC. Let's take any of the example of any of the company, and if you contribute towards that company a lot, or even a 2 3, then a particular software engineer or a particular maintainer who is working on their GitHub, they check like yes, this person is really very capable and really they are contributing a very good code. Why do not they work in my company? So even they send you an offer letter or an interview call, right? They send you an interview call like, do you like to work in our company? Can you do you like to give an interview? So and this is nothing like any secret or any like any comes to any particular person. Even I have seen many of my friends, even many of my friends, they got an opportunity from open source only. They were contributing to a particular company, and they just got a call like if you want to work in our company or something. So first thing, getting a job opportunity directly. Second, getting a good leadership quality in a teamwork, because in a open source many of the persons, many of the maintainers are working there. So you get a directly connectivity of, or like you can see contribution 1347. Now you can see like from how many persons you are connecting with and how many persons you may connect from that company. So you get a good opportunity to connect there. Like lift the community, because it will be helping you to contribute towards the company. Many of the students ask me like, how will see how we can contribute to the company. Is there only a way to speak in a community? No, because like everyone do not have that quality to speak, right? Like they may be afraid of that speaking in public. So it's not important, or many a time it happens they do not get the chance to speak in public, right? So it's not important, there is only a one way to contribute. So you can contribute to the open source. Open source is really good. Seventh, that is job, which I have already told you. And the showcasing your talent, even you can, what happen if you're contributing a particular company, let's take any of the example you can take. And if you post on the LinkedIn, if you post on the Twitter, wherever you want, then many of the engineer will be noting that yes, you have contributed to this particular topic or this particular technology, and we are also working on that technology, and they are thinking like, yes, the person is good for the work, we can directly approach them. So what happens, they directly approach that. Otherwise, I will give an example, a very good company, I think HackerRank. What happened, they just connect to the engineers, sorry, they just connect to the students who are having a very good GitHub profile, and they have given them opportunity to work in HackerRank. First, they have given a link for the internship. So this is something they have directly connected just with the GitHub, not nothing like seeing after that they are contributing in big companies. Because even in a open source, what I say, even when I started in my second year, like 2 year before, 2 to 3 years before, so I started my journey with Hacktoberfest because like everyone is a beginner, because no one is there like who is really very good Mahatma type and doing a good work in the technology. So I was also a student, and I just started my first project with an ML project, a small project it was. But yes, the first project, the first contribution which it got merged, the happiness was really very good, because it's not something like you can directly contribute to a bigger company, because their code is really very vast. You need a very good knowledge for it, right? So start from a very basic. It's nothing like important you need to be good in any of the technology. You can be good in even C++, Java, or you can be a good web developer. You can even be good in documentation. You can be good in no code. You can be good in UI UX, making a videos or something. So all that comes in the open source. Now, there was one more question, like how we can find it's the slide is a bit clumsy, I think, but yes. So more about that open source event. Open source event, we can take a Google Summer of Code, MLH, Let's Grow More, Winter of Code, Summer of Code. We can go. These are something like these are not very big programs, but yes, the participation number was very good, like near about 6,000, 4,000 was there. Google Summer of Code, let me explain you firstly. Let makes the doubt clear first. Contributing in open source is not an internship. You are not getting an internship in particular company, or it's not important that every companies pay for you. Mostly in open source, company do not pay to you. Correct? They may send you some of the swags just for a token, but it's nothing there that they will pay. If yes, if it is an open source program and only some of the programs pay for it, not all the company, that's just for promoting it, promoting the open source, but most of the company do not pay to you. Let me clear, because it's not an internship where you are going to a particular office and you are doing that. It's an just contributing to the project, correct? Not contributing to any company, particularly sitting for them and doing the work for them. It's totally your choice. So let's understand Google Summer of Code. Google Summer of Code is the program which is done, which is organized by Google, where many of the good companies, good organization connect with the Google, correct? Like Google select them, and where the students can enroll, sorry, where the students can fill the form, fill the application, and particular company will be selecting you. So like even like there is 80,000 plus applications, so 1,600 students selected. So the ratio is very different. So and they are really paid for it, and it's like earlier it was 6 month program, and now it's 3 month program. So if the company likes your work, they will be extending you. Even the summer of code is over, they will be extending you. You can also contribute it. MLH, this is one of the most famous, providing externship to you, providing open source, and they are organizing many of the hackathons. So if you do not know about the MLH, do check it out. And I think today is the last date of filling the application. Today or it was tomorrow, I am not bit sure. I think today. So you can fill that for the summer, upcoming fellow. So if for coming winter, these are some programs which are organized in summer or according to the winter. So you can just what you can do, you can just go to the website and you can just check it out, like summer of code, winter of code. So if any of the program is open, I would say like even on the LinkedIn, Twitter, they updated summer, sorry, summer of code. Now you can see like Google Summer of Code. Okay, this is the program. You can see, you can check it out when the application is open. You can contribute. You can fill that application, so, or you can Summer of Code, Summer of Code. You can find different program. Open Summer of Code, Rails. I think this program is closed. How to prepare for so this is something. Okay, Summer of Code, Summer. Okay, now you can just write this line: winter of code, summer of code. You will be also finding a small project, small programs too. So you can enroll there and you can work on it, right? Okay, so till now what we have discussed till now, let's check why what is open source. It's almost clear. How to start with open source contribution. This is remaining, and this I will cover. This I will be covering tomorrow. How you can contribute to the open source, and I will make sure if you check that session, you will be able to understand how you can contribute even from tomorrow itself. You can start contributing there. What is the need of open source? I have just told you. I will be explaining you more about finding the project of open source. Recently I have tell you, and I will be telling you more expanding way. Find the open source project. That's last topic which we have done. So what was remaining? Finding the projects. Okay, so it's not important that, sorry, it's not important that every time a big open source program or a small open source program is there. Like recently in the Hacktoberfest is going on in the October month, but like every month there is not any program going on. So how you can find that project? It's not important to contribute in the program, right? So just go with the Google Summer of Code, and if let's think you are a beginner. That's good. Let me clear this. This is Girls Script Summer of Code. This is also a very good program, and they just try to do this program to help you with more with contributing in the open source, and it's more similar. Sorry, not similar. It's like an in Google Summer of Code. It's just you can do a bit practice, more practice on here. Okay, so recently they have done in 1st March to 31 of the May. It's basically 2 months program. Now go to the project. 2022. You can go to 21. Now, if you think like I am good in Bash, if you think I am good in Python, Golang, any of the language, even you are good in Go. Let's try Python or Kotlin. Now you can see the programs which have Kotlin tag. They are there, right? Now you can see any other if you are a web developer, React. Okay, so now you can see React here, or if you are good in documentation, I think documentation have a different tag. Let me check it out. I think I'm not able to find that tag. What happens like if you go in any of the project, go to the repository and go to the issues, you will be able to see some of the tag. I think it's not here because they are not like program is already over, so there is nothing like a tag. So they may have a tag of documentation. You can directly go to that. Even for the documentation, if you are good in English, so not in English particularly, any language which the company is using. So Google Summer of Docs, even the Google also organize a program which is called Google Summer of Code. You can also enroll in this. I mean, like you can fill that application if you are selected. That's well and good. Okay, so you can try with that too, and it's really a very good program to enroll. Now you have understand, and these projects are not any big project. These are really very small projects, like small to hard level. All type of projects, all type of problems are there. So even you are a beginner, even you are a professional, you can do check this out. And if you think like my level is more good, I'm more good in the tech, same you can do with Google Summer of Code. Go to the project section, bind with any company. Like what you can do, what's the benefit of that? Let me explain you directly. So what happens if you try to what happens, there is many applications per year comes, right? Okay, every year we got like the Google Summer of Code, they get more application than the applicants. and very much higher than the ratio, right? So how they select, like if there is 10 project in any one of the project, for a particular thing there is three applicants, like let's take an example, three. So what's how they can choose you are the best one, what particular thing you will be showing, right? So if you, what happens, like from the 6 month before, from a 1 year, from 2 year before, you are contributing to their repo. This is something like a benefit for you if you want to do that, because like it's there is some time for Google Summer of Code. So you can start from whenever you want. What you can do, you can like take any example of any company, take a Red Hat, and you think like the yes, this technology and my technology meets, right? You start contributing from now, even the Google Summer of Code is not going on. So what happens when the application is started and they reach your application, what the maintainer, mainly the maintainer or a project admin check that. Now they will be seeing, yes, this person is regularly contributing in our company and they are really contributing very good, so they will be giving you a priority to selected in the selected in that program. So this is something a trick, not a trick, this is something a good thing which you can do this. Or if you want to do in any other company, it's not important to particularly do in that company, because it's not fixed that this company will be always there in that Google Summer of Code. But yes, you can check it out, like a company which is coming from a long time will be there. Mostly it happens because it's nothing like if you're contributing in even the Reddit, and Reddit is working on a particular domain, particular technology, and same other company, a good company which is in Google Summer of Code, is also working on that technology. So they will be seeing that yes, you have done a good work, they will be automatically selecting you, correct? It's not important to contribute in that company only, or it happens something, because they just need what they need, that you should have a good knowledge about that particular technology, you should have that skills to work with the team, work on a particular thing what they just want, and they want their work best. Okay, so it's not important to work with them only, you can work with anyone else too, but yes, your work should be good. And if like, even I would say, like even you, it's not something a miracle thing, even you are first in a first year, then also you can do, because it's not a big ratio, but people from the first year also, if they have a good knowledge, Google, they select them, because they are not seeing your year, like a person is in third year means it is good, he is good. In a first year, guy can be good, correct? So yes, I think like most of the doubts are clear. Even if you have any of the doubt regarding open source, you can just ping me on the LinkedIn, Twitter, wherever you want. I am active all the way, and it may take 2 to 3 days, but I will try to answer your question. Okay. So what do you use? Let's just have something reback. What do you use for sharing your project with your friends? So it may have like you use Google Drive, you use WhatsApp, you use Drive, anything, Dropbox, or just a messaging or something. So I would suggest, like what I would say, you have listened GitHub. If you are really a beginner, what I would say, tomorrow we have a session on GitHub. You can just make your account on the GitHub and we can get started with that. Now I will tell you, GitHub is a platform where anyone can, like you can see, if you want to send someone a photo, you use particular app, correct? So if you want to send a GitHub, a code, a project, or you want to share in a team, if you want to work in the team, like if you change anything, so you change anything in the code, that's you can directly update on the GitHub. But this feature is not in the Drive, correct? You need to again delete that file, upload a new file, or renaming again and again. And what GitHubs provide, you can directly connect with your tool and it will be automatically updating there. And even if you have done something wrong, or you have in the past last year you have made some of the changes, even GitHub provide this facility that you can check it. In GitHub WhatsApp, it's not there. So GitHub is particularly a platform for projects, for your contribution, for your connecting to the code, and many things GitHub provides us. Even I can count here. GitHub is really a very vast tool which is helpful to use for you. So yes, I think other thing I will be covering tomorrow more on the GitHub. and most of the things I have covered, and just recap that. How to start with open source contribution is I have told you how to find the projects, how to find an open source competition, what's the need of open source, what is open source. So this I will be covering more tomorrow. Today I also told like how you can find the project and how you can start with that. But if you are a beginner or if you do not know anything how to contribute, I will be helping you out totally. You will be getting a total roadmap where anyone can do that. So yes, all on that. This is more about the open source. Just recap that open source is a free software. A free software is and everyone can use it from anywhere. There is nothing like any foundation. Anyone can use it. This is something like even you are a student, you are a professional, you can use that. So these are something more on the open source thing. And open source, particularly software where anyone can give their idea, where anyone can share about it. Let me clear you again, open source program is not getting an internship. But what happens in my time when I was in second or first year, what I do, because like if you're learning any of the technology, it's not important that for practicing you will be getting an internship every time. Correct. So I have also done the internship in machine learning in my second or third year. But even when I started learning web development, let's take an example. So what I particularly do or app development. So I find some of the project which is in open source and I try to contribute that, because it's same feeling you are contributing in any other code and you are learning from it. It's give you a same experience to do that and you have a freedom to do it. Correct. So what I would suggest to you also, like if you are in first year, second year, third year, fourth year, any of the year you are a small, big, and anything, you learn any of the technology, try to contribute in open source. Do not run behind that internship, because getting an internship certificate is not something like, yes, it's good, but even if you say in your resume that you have contributed to a particular company, they will be really impressed from you. Even you are getting an internship in a small company, you can contribute to a big project with the help of open source. So it's in the and one of the best thing which I like about open source, even you are in any of the college, any of the year, you can do that. And this benefit like most of the student takes, because it's really helpful to do that. And I think most of your doubts are clear. And if you have any doubt, you watch this video afterwards. What you can do, you can just join my tomorrow's session and you can ask all the doubt. And even if you have seen and you think like your friends also need to know about this, you just send them this video and it will be really helpful for them. Just connect with me tomorrow and I will be clearing your almost doubts there. Correct. So till then I think like it's good for you to learn more about the open source. And open source is something you need to go and learn more on that, and we will be connecting you tomorrow with GitHub and how to contribute and all about the open source. So I think this session was good for you. Yes, this session was good for you, and I think like happy to connect. You can just connect me on LinkedIn, Twitter, wherever you want, and just share with your friends, learn from it. And tomorrow we'll be going more towards the technical thing. What's the requirement? Just make your GitHub account, and yes, we are good to go. Thank you so much. Thank you. Just a minute. Okay. All who are doing hey in the chat, so I would say hi everyone. Okay. Thank you. Thank you for joining.